You, Scratchy?
Good evening, neighbor. Night chops, Narian and Caroline and the viewers and everyone. Big up and knock, bro.
Greetings, my brother.
We spend a little time with this possibility. Of course, it has been around for a while, been on our agenda for quite some time, and it seemed to be getting a little closer. Harry is suggesting policy engineering. Dr. King is saying, no, don't take it up out of under the ground. Let it remain there because we're not ready for it. We're gonna waste it. The country is better developing itself and producing its way to prosperity. How do you look at it?
I mean, neighbor, I don't see it from that way, neighbor. We know that, neighbor, to reach prosperity or for Jamaica to grow, neighbor, this is a mantra that the Prime Minister has used over the time, neighbor. It takes cash to grow, neighbor. And one of our biggest, from the government side, neighbor, one of the government's biggest bill, neighbor, is the buying of gas. You know, and if we can produce that, neighbor, on our own neighbor, and just have to deal with the refining part of it, neighbor, that's a big plus for us, neighbor. Right now, if you check the budget, the government gas bill, the government back through Petrojam, I even other private entities who buy gas bring into Jamaica, or the right to buy gas and bring into Jamaica, neighbor. It's a very huge bill, neighbor. So Dr. King's sentiment alone, neighbor, is not enough, neighbor, to say don't dig it up, let it stay there. We have been trying, neighbor, to strive, neighbor. What Jamaica need a big surplus, neighbor. And I think, neighbor, that this, if we found gas and everything in a amount, neighbor, where we can service and manage ourselves for a certain level of period of years, that's a great plus for us, neighbor. That's what we need. We need a major surplus. Jamaica is lacking, neighbor, because we're not a big manufacturing society, neighbor. And we lack natural resources. Neighbor. If you look at all of the world leading countries, neighbor, they have some form of resources, whether it's some form of minerals, something, they all have something, neighbor, that is that big check for them, or that ease the financial burden of their countries. All of the major countries around the world that are considered rich, if you look at them, all of them, Jamaica, we don't have any of that. So if we can find oil, neighbor, if it even just for our own supply, I am telling you, that big plus, neighbor. And for you to really know if something is going to fail or not, I think it is wrong for Dr. King to just come and make a statement like that. We have to try. Let us try. We are moving. This is not the Jamaica of the 90s where we are marred by corruption. We have a government, neighbor, we have to be more transparent than ever. You know, simple persons now have a better understanding, neighbor, for a lot of things that we didn't know back in the days. We have access to information is much more easier. So I don't agree with Dr. King one bit, neighbor, because I know the importance, neighbor, of our resources like oil, neighbor. We signed Guyana, where Guyana recently, neighbor, found oil themselves, neighbor. We see where the government of Guyana at one point in time gave up, I believe, $200,000 Guyanese to almost every Guyanese citizen. And we have seen the rapid growth of Guyana in the Caribbean right now, the rapid growth in construction in Guyana. And that is not a result, neighbor, of the oil that Guyana has found, because Guyana did not have revenue on themselves. So Dr. King's statement, neighbor, is very, very flat, baseless, neighbor. And so someone as a top economist, as Dr. King, neighbor, he should try to come up with solutions rather to say let the oil stay there in the ground, neighbor, and don't explore it and try to reach our true potential. I can't agree with him one bit.
Okay. Scratchy, there is a real concern, though, that the PNP's history is one of mismanagement. And is that not part of why the society is saying, hey, boy, we're nervous? Because, as Harry points out, it's a democracy. The fact of the matter is that at the next election, you and I know any game can play. There is no certainty that this government will remain in power in perpetuity, and at some point, the PNP will come back in power. Is that not part of the fear in the society, and maybe a fear being exercised by Dr. King himself?
Yes, I would accept that to a certain level, neighbor. PNP traumatized Jamaicans, neighbor. Whenever the skepticism, neighbor, that a lot of Jamaicans have towards government, neighbor, it is a result of the People's National Party, direct as a result of that 18 and a half year, neighbor, that they won election, back election, neighbor, consecutively. That is a result, neighbor, where Jamaicans are traumatized. Jamaicans don't trust them. The term politicians are thief was coined in the 90s, neighbor. It manifested in the 90s and it was proven in the 90s. So a lot of Jamaicans still hold that fear of the 90s, neighbor, saying politicians are thief, politician mishaps and politician this, politician that. That was as a result of the poor management. They did a rampant corruption near about the 90s where persons are still reminiscent of those things. So I would definitely agree to that level near, but yes, a lot of well-thinking Jamaicans and a lot of normal-thinking Dominicans as well near, are very concerned. They are very skeptical and very skeptical when it comes towards government and certain major projects and what the government will share these projects with the citizens, where the citizens benefit from these projects near, because there's a mindset near, that was set in our mind that politician, government, corruption, government this, government that. But we don't realize near, but sometimes we have to come to the reality now and say, okay, this government has been in government in power for three consecutive terms now, 10 years now going forward. Look at the corruption that this government has been in for the past 10 years. Where there are acts of corruption, what type of measure was taken, was action taken to discipline whoever was in those corrupt act neighbor, and I think definitely. So we have to make sure neighbor that we reminisce of the fact neighbor, but we have to also be in the reality neighbor. It's like just like a relationship neighbor. You go in a relationship, your female always a cheat on you. The one time now you get a good girl in your life because you can't see her for the goodness of who she is, neighbor. You keep reminiscing and saying that Sandra did do me this, Paulette did do me this. But you don't realize.
Careful how you cut. Careful how you
yeah,
call.
careful how you call. Yeah. no pun intended.
I'll tell you something about Sandra. Sandra, oh God.
Sandra, bring back memories, neighbor.
God Almighty.
I make Paulette and Sandra come on the show, you know.
I hope they know you, Mary.
Why, sir? Why I tell you? Left that alone. Go ahead.
Yes, neighbor. I'm just saying that, yes, persons are reminiscent of the fact, neighbor, that the PNP was a corrupt government, neighbor. Again, the term politician and thief, neighbor, it was coined. And it was also proven to a certain extent, neighbor, by the People's National Party within that 18 and a half year of consecutive 18 and a half year, neighbor. So Jamaicans are still skeptical towards them, neighbor. But Jamaicans must also come to the realization, neighbor, that we have a government right now that is led by Jamaica neighbor, where one of the most transparent government that we have ever seen, neighbor, where every single thing, every single major project, every single thing that this government is doing, neighbor, it is scrutinized to a certain level, neighbor, where even the common man, when you look at certain documents, neighbor, that I see now are in the presence of certain people, that's a normal person. We don't normally debate these type of documents in the public domain and stuff like that. These type of documents are normally, yes, they are most time, but they are there, yes. But it wasn't that pleasing or appeasing for us to go and research and look up to these documents. So I think, neighbor, they are going to have technology, neighbor, and it's on Jamaica alone as government in power, neighbor. Jamaicans, neighbor, are more cognizant of the fact of what is going on, neighbor. Jamaicans are more understanding of what is going on. And Jamaicans should also give this government a chance and realize that this is not the People's National Party. This is the Jamaican Labour Party. This is the political organization that has ruled this country for the past 10 years. This is the political organization that put us into every single thing that they are doing. They don't leave us behind. They put us in the center of every single thing that they are doing, whether it's housing, whether it's crime, whether it's road project, whether it's water project. All of us are saying it. So we just have to realize, neighbor, that the Jamaica Labour Party led by Michael Wellness is not the government, neighbor, of the People's National Party. And you have to look at corruption, neighbor. Corruption don't necessarily come from the government side alone, neighbor. Corruption can also come from technocrats. And as government members, neighbor, you give persons the opportunity to employ persons, neighbor, to come into your organization and come into your organization to work on for the enhancement and the benefit of Jamaicans. And these persons might have ulterior motive. So when time someone come work, neighbor, and them thief something and decide to do what they are doing, neighbor, and you can't blame the government in totality for that, because the government didn't know anything about. The government employed this person to carry out a specific task, and the person was qualified to carry out a specific task. So we have to look on corruption. Corruption is very broad, neighbor. Corruption is very wide. And we have to just start to move, neighbor, and start to call a spade, and stop. Anytime you hear corruption in any ministries, any departments, or any agency, sometimes it is not directly labeled that the politician or whatever member of parliament or whatever cabinet minister is governing that ministry, neighbor. Sometimes they don't know nothing. Case in point, look at what is going on with Ministry of Health and up by UA. Dr. Tufton don't know nothing about that. But it's corruption and it's fallen on the Ministry of Health. But Dr. Tufton don't know nothing about that. So technocrats, neighbor, who are employed to work in the best interest of us, neighbor, they are the ones, neighbor, who I think, neighbor, these people cause more atrocities, neighbor, and do more corrupt act, neighbor, than the government is said and politicians themselves, neighbor. And these persons tend to get some little easy walk away, easy scapegoat. And I think that Harry made a point, neighbor, where I think it need to be more structured, neighbor, where our private citizens, our technocrats who were employed to put in these places, neighbor, whenever they do any form of corrupt act, especially, neighbor, in time depriving mad citizens from receiving any form of benefits and going into the country first, neighbor. I think we need to make some serious example, need to start making these people. And I think that is where Jamaicans now, neighbor, we start to understand that, yes, our persons who get this position, neighbor, we start to understand that, okay, yes, no matter which position I'm in, I cannot abuse my power. I can't abuse my position because the law will take its course. And the law will take its course, it's going to be drastic, neighbor. It has to be drastic. Whatever law there is, neighbor, to bar these persons from doing corrupt, neighbor, those laws need to be straightened. Those laws need to be tightened. Those laws need to be very strong. They need to be preventable. Put it some strong deterrent measures in place so that these persons don't commit these acts, neighbor. I think it is too easy. It is too labor, neighbor. Too many technocrats in Jamaicans, neighbor, are involved in corrupt activities. And at the end of the day, it's politicians get the blame.
Fantastic. Great.